something that I would like to explain that I have forgotten in the main video. At the beginning I would like to explain what PM2 is. If you look like PM2, you see a lot of things in this table. The first is an ID. That means every server that are running has an ID and the name that can also be used to restart or stop a server. But one thing that I have forgotten is that if you seeing this kind of column, you see how often the server is restarted. That means PM2 is an application that can manage multiple servers that we've seen in my tutorials. And if a server is crashing, it will instantly restart the server. That means if your server crashes, for example, if in my case I think it could be crash if it tries, for example, to get the status of a server that's not available. That means if you're trying to look at show test server, then you get a message test server doesn't exist. So that means, for example, if I PM2 remove the game server, delete, and we now running our application and trying to get access to my server. I think it crashes. No, it's not crashing. But for example, if I try to start a server, okay, it's also not crashing. Okay, what I will say is that if your server is crashing, the PM2 will instantly restart the server, and it is available. I think. Okay, I try to crash my server with okay, wait. If I change this to 2, for example, I haven't 2 servers. My server will crash, that you can see here. Okay, I don't know how I can crash our application, but I only will show that PM2 will manage to restart the server if it is crashed. That's PM2. So another thing that I have forgotten is the problem is if your servers are not in the same directory as the server that is running the PM2. That means, for example, if I making a subdirectory, for example, other server, and put these 2 servers inside this, and then I trying to stop manager. Manager. Oh, sorry. PM2. And I started. and I delete also my web page server, and then I trying to get this information. They say both are offline, and when I press on a button they not change. The problem is that they can't access to the servers because they are in a other directory. You can solve this problem very simple. The problem is that it tries to start a server that they think that is in the PM2. You can solve it with a cd, for example, other server, then and a semicolon, and then start the .js. With this, and you can also do it with the stub comment. If you do that, your CMD navigates to the other server directory and starts the PM2 server in the other directory. If I now stop the manager again, okay, and I start it again, what it will do is it will give us the same feedback, but if we trying to start, it's not working. What's the mistake? Okay, I'm trying to use this instead. Then I think it should work. So I think now it should work. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. I will fix it and then you can see how it works. After a little bit of testing, I found out that you should add a if, because of if a server not exists, it will return a small message and then the substring not work. That means we have to set the relevant string part to an empty string, and if the length of the console output is bigger than 100, then we can get the value. This console log can be removed, and I solved the problem with an absolute path, and then you can make a bigger comment. And if you now run the manager, I will start it again. Then if you refresh the page, they should be offline, and if you look at the status, only the manager is inside the list. Now if you now start the server, I solved the problem with the parameter /d and then the path where the directory of the other servers is, and then I add symbol and then the comment that should run after the cd. And then if you run the application and go to the site, you can click on the servers and they will be added to the site. For example, if I refresh, the servers will not appear, but now, okay. Yeah, sometimes it's not so perfect, sorry for that. But yes, you can make the comment longer and run multiple comments at one line to solve the problem with the directory.